Hey guys, today I wanted to talk about some developments that has happened recently with my guides. It's really interesting because I haven't heard anyone else talk about these experiences before. This is very new to me, but also I've never heard anyone experience this as well. So that's why I'm kind of bringing this up. Now, it's a bit of a story. It's a bit of a lengthy, there's like other things that kind of unfolded with it. So it's a bit tricky that way to explain. So that's why I have this painting here to kind of help show you the progression of how things came and unfolded. And then it can kind of go into the experience that came afterwards. So that's how I'm going to kind of frame this. So hopefully you can kind of follow along and it makes some sense and whatnot. So I was listening to, she's on YouTube as well. Her name is Vanessa Lamorte. I believe that's how you say your name. And I have very similar experiences to her when she experiences like working with, extraterrestrials, being a starseed. I think for her she's actually a hybrid, but for me I'm more of the starseed energy, I guess, from what I know. But I was listening to her light language and found it really one day really inspiring. And I've had other times where I've listened to it and it definitely moves energy in my body. I can feel that. But sorry, I'm about to sneeze. Still getting over a bit of a cold. But so I was listening one day to her light language and this huge surge to just paint freely, without any constraints, any objective other than just to paint and to freely express myself. So I did that. I stopped everything I was doing. I was working on mugs, which is a very controlled creative outlet, but you're not being as free flowing, free form. And so I think this urge was really needed to be able to feel free and express myself fully. So I listened to it. I heard the impulse in my body just going, oh, I need to do this. And so I had one of these canvases just ready to go. I just put it down. I brought out my acrylic paints really fast. Everything was just right there and ready, like within maybe 30 seconds, a minute at most. I had everything ready to go to be able to do this painting while she was doing her light language. So I kept doing listening to hers and others' light language while I was working on this piece. So that's why this piece is here. Now, it's not completely done, but I was working on it more last night. And, I was adding in these white marks, these freeform, while I was listening to the light language. Oops, so just where did the paint want to go? Sorry, I'll have to put this up. And where did my hand want to go while I'm listening to this language? And so that's kind of where these markings here all come from. It's just that free feeling. So this painting isn't fully done. I still want to do some shading, but I was working on it a fair amount yesterday. So then at nighttime, I was sleeping, and this is where things get a little bit strange, a little bit different. My different family members in one of my dreams were all doing this kind of markings, and they were showing me on the wall, and they were kind of doing these different signs and symbols. It was like they were drawing it out for me, and they're all doing different examples of these movements, of these free form kind of, it's like a free form of language in a sense. When you think of light language, well, this is almost like light writing. So they're all doing this. They're all showing me these different symbols. And then what happened was really nuts. My eyes instantly opened. I was looking at my husband, who was next to me, and he raised his arms up. And then, we have a wall that kind of slants, comes closer to our head area. he started going like this and starting right on the wall, and I just laughed. I was like, oh my gosh, and I closed my eyes, and then I heard a and I opened my eyes again because I was like, what just happened? What did he do with his arms? And they were like instantly glued back down to his body, resting on his tummy, as if they, and so weighted again, as if nothing had ever happened, as if he had never even moved them, like he was like dead asleep. So it was pretty nuts how fluid the dream state and waking state is. They've done this a couple times for me now, and yeah, it's pretty nuts. Another experience, now this is previous, sorry, I'm gonna have to get up, my feet are falling asleep. A previous experience was where, okay, what was happening? It was my guides again. I was working with my guides. They didn't seem like E.T. or anything, but they just seemed like there was a man, and he was walking over me. They were demonstrating energy and the way how things here aren't as concrete, aren't as hard and 3D as it seems. They were trying to explain to me how fluid the energy here on Earth is, and to wake up to this fluidity, I guess, if that's a word. So what he did is he kind of tiptoed up to me, and I saw him coming towards me. He tiptoed up to me, and then he went like this, tap, 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 on to my shoulder. Well, I woke up, and as soon as I woke up, I saw my husband. He was like over top, like leaning over me with a smile on his face, and he went like this at the very same time as this other guide. And then he just lay back down and was just out, and he wasn't even awake while he had done this. Like, he was just completely asleep. But it was just showing me again another example of, you know, everything interplaying with everything. And, you know, maybe it seems a little bit silly, and sometimes I feel like, you know, like, am I going crazy? Like, this is so strange because I see it playing out so many times in a day, where it isn't necessarily Daryl, my husband, you know, doing things and it's interplaying with my dream state, but it'll be something where I think a thought, or I'm feeling something, I'm going through something. Like just a minute ago, I was feeling a sense of anxiety a little bit, and I was like, what is this? And I'm trying to identify it and go through it, and I realized it's like this idea of conformity, and it needing to get, like, you know, that 9-to-5 kind of job, and that feeling. So I was processing that again, because it's difficult when you're out of the box, so to speak, and you're going against the flow. It always wants to get you back into the box, back into that matrix, so to speak. So what's crazy about that, though, is where I'm going with this, is just like, as I'm experiencing this, as I'm feeling this, I'm scrolling through the what's new videos on my subscribing list on YouTube while I was folding laundry, and Infinite Waters brings up the subject of exactly that. The exact thing I'm actually processing through and going through was one of his absolute newest videos. And so I was listening to that, and it was basically the universe answering, like, my questions, in a sense, answering what I'm processing. And this happens, like, constantly for me now. So I'm curious as to how this is for you guys. Have you been experiencing dream waking state crossover, where things are playing out on both sides? Are you, and maybe this is that, like some people say, gravity collapsing, or these new energies merging, and might be part of this, you know. So I'm just trying to figure this out myself. So if you guys have been experiencing anything like this, please let me know. I'd love to hear your experiences as well, because I haven't seriously heard anyone talk about this as of yet. And if I find out, I'll let you guys know too. Yeah, it's very interesting. It keeps life definitely going and playful. and sometimes makes you feel a little bit crazy because you're like, oh my gosh, how interconnected is everything with my thoughts? Like, literally, are we all one? And that's what I'm finding more than anything, not just that things are being mirrored to me, but how much of this we are all one statement really is. You know, I think we all like to say it and think it, but then when you're actually in it and you're feeling it, it's a little bit freaky at first. I have to say, it's a little bit freaky. You kind of go, you know, I don't know if this is, should I be experiencing this, because it's very new. So please let me know what you think. Yeah, so I'd love to hear your comments, and yeah, what do you guys know about the interplay between our dream state, real state, the feelings and experiences of light language. This is mine, and I'm going to continue doing this. I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, and it does have that free-flowing feeling. It allows me just to let loose. Yeah. Anyways, you guys all take care. Until the next video, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.